daughter.
An emotional arraignment. Two people charged with murdering a 4-year-old girl in Euclid make their first court appearance this afternoon. And sitting just behind them is the girl's grieving and shell-shocked father. News 5's Jordan Vandenberg joins us live from Euclid Municipal Court with more. Jordan?
Well, the arraignments of Sierra Day and Deontay Lewis oftentimes was difficult to sit through, as the grieving father of four-year-old Anya Day Garrett had trouble controlling his emotions. Flanked by attorneys, Deontay Lewis and Sierra Day walked into the courtroom. Flanked by friends and loved ones, Michael Garrett couldn't bear the sight of them. Her name was Anaya Day, a happy-go-lucky 4-year-old who had a permanent smile on her face, her family says. On Sunday, Euclid police and fire found her unresponsive. She was badly emaciated and burned, police say. The coroner says Anaya died from blunt force trauma to the head and was severely malnourished. Her mother, Sierra, and her mother's boyfriend, Deontay, were detained at the scene. 2 days later, they were charged with aggravated murder.
Did purposely and with prior calculation and design cause the death of Anaya Day.
Sitting just feet away, Garrett, the girl's biological father, had an outpouring of emotion that could not be contained.
You're my baby!
Garrett tells News 5 that he had been trying to gain custody of Anaya since last fall, and Child Family Services confirms there were 3 prior investigations for alleged neglect. CFS also says it had an open case and was scheduled to meet with Sierra on Monday. For Garrett, the irony is beyond painful. Today, everything is. Held on bond, pleading not guilty, Lewis left the court and shot the gallery a glance. Garrett fired back.
Kill my daughter!
YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here is an update from a story that I did coming out of Ohio, Euclid by the way, of Sierra Day and her boyfriend Deontay Lewis. Sierra 23, Deontay 26, where they beat to death Sierra 4-year-old daughter. Now Deontay is not the father of the baby girl that got killed, but the father was in the courtroom, as you all seen in the video. Basically, you know, heartbroken, you know, just devastated, just torn apart. And I feel his suffering and pain, because Lord forbids if anything like that ever happened, you know what I'm saying, to something that I bring into the world, I would be more than livid. You know, I would probably be somewhere waiting to get sentenced to for trying to hurt him and the mom also. But this goes to show you that, you know, some women just choose the wrong guys, not the father, because the father was a good dad, as you could tell. And not so often do I get a story of a guy really being a good dad, where you see him in the pictures with the daughter, where you see him in the videos, like the old videos, you know how they put up and stuff in remembrance of them hugging their daughter, loving their child, whether it's a son or a little girl. But at the same time, like I said, a lot of those stories never cross this desk because they are few and far in between. But when they do, it touches a special place in my heart, because every child needs love and every child needs their mom and also their dad. But at the same time, when you have like TD Jakes said, in other words, a loose woman, a woman who don't give a damn about anything but herself and her sexual needs, as in the case of Miss Sierra Day, then problems arise. Then any man can come in there and disrupt that house. And at the same time, if you have your child staying with the mom, which most of the time, if you're not with the mom is going to have custody of the child 90% of the time. You know, there's very few cases where the guy doesn't have custody of his child. But if the child is in the custody of the mom, the child is at the mercy of whatever the mom bring around her, whether it's some guys or some studs or something. If she decides to be a lesbian, she's at the mercy, at the hands of her mom, you know, depending on whoever she brings into her house. So I'm gonna read a snippet from this story and give my opinion, surely, as we go. Agonized father cries in court as mother of his child and her boyfriend are charged for killing 4-year-old daughter. Euclid, Ohio. A mother along with her boyfriend were charged in the death of her own daughter. On Sunday, after receiving a 911 call about an unresponsive child, police and paramedics arrived to an apartment complex on Lakeshore Boulevard. The child, 4-year-old Anaya Day, was later pronounced dead at Euclid Hospital. The hospital reported her death as a suspected homicide, and the medical examiner's office confirmed the manner of death as a homicide. According to family members, there were obvious signs the little girl was being abused and neglected. Relatives said they warned Cuyahoga County Children and Family Services that the girl was in danger, but they claimed nothing was done to save her. The agency confirms it had an active case at the time the little girl died and says caseworkers visited the home 3 times and had a scheduled visit for Monday, March the 12th, but by then it was too late. Now, Sierra Day and her boyfriend Deontay Crazy Ass Lewis were charged with aggravated murder and the death of 4-year-old Anaya Day. They are being held on a $1 million bail, and I'll be damned if somebody do a Tupac Shakur for them to come bail they ass out, even though Pac bail was 1.3 million. But anyway, you can look at this Sierra Day and tell she's off in the head. When they just give you that blank ass stare like this, something wrong with them people. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what nobody say. And then she go choose this guy look like somebody done just beat his face all in right there. Got all kinds of cuts and teeth marks, like some snagger tooth inmate in there done got a hold to his cheekbone right there, just try to bite a plug into his ass. Probably when they found out and heard also what he did to this child, Miss Anaya Day, the 4-year-old little girl. So whenever you do things like this to a child, especially in jail, men and women, especially the men, you're gonna get your ass beat, especially if it's a young child or an old person. You know, it's kind of strange that the so-called quote unquote the hardest and coldest people in the world, like your ones in prison and jail, are sometimes the ones with the softest heart. And what I mean by that, go in there and let people find out that you molested children or you molesting old people, and watch, won't they kill you right in prison? It don't matter. But at the same time, they will sit up here and probably go, do little certain crimes or whatever the hell else. And I'm not talking about people in there for rape and murder, because they're not going to kill nobody for doing it, because that's what they already done. Most of the time, these are just regular guys who probably made a mistake along the way. But I find that very strange that society has a bad label on everybody that comes out of jail and prison. But at the same time, these are the guys who really stand up for weaker people. Just whether it's a weak guy that come to jail, or whether it's a weak woman that come to jail, or whether it's somebody that needs help or protection. You have people in there that will protect them more than people out here on the streets. Now that's something to think about also. So that might explain how Mr. Deontay Lewis got those teeth marks up on his eye, like somebody tried to bite his damn eye out. Now, during Tuesday's court proceedings, Anaya's grieving father, Michael Garrett, and bless his heart, because that man was torn apart. You know what I'm saying? It really touched my soul. I said, I got to do an update to a video about this, because I did this video some months ago, but that's before all this information came out, of course, because they're just now going to court. But at the same time, when I seen that man cry and how he was trying to hold himself, that takes a lot for a person. And you never know how long this man was grieving. I'm sure he was grieving from the moment that he found out that his daughter was beat to death, not died in her sleep, but beat to death. If it's natural, it's still going to hurt. But imagine how you would feel if someone in your family that's very close to you get beat to death, murder, basically. That would tear you apart. It probably just ruin your life. A lot of people can't handle it. A lot of people resort to drinking, drugs, and just suicide themselves, because a lot of them can't handle that. So I understand what Mr. Michael Garrett is going through, and we need to keep him in our prayers also. Now, he was captured on video crying out in anger as the suspects were led away in handcuffs. Then he screamed out, "You killed my daughter." Garrett screamed out, "You hurt my baby." And to add insult to injury, the guy Deontay Lewis, as he was walking, and I'm sure that you all have seen the picture of the video, as he was walking, being led away from the court, he turned around and gave that father a sinister look like, yeah, I did that. Now, what you gonna do about it? And that right there really made the man even more feel worse, just ripped him apart even more, because not only did you kill my child, but then you're gonna turn around like, in what? You know how people do something to you, like, in what you gonna do about it? You feel what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, if he could have got a hold of the man, he probably ripped that man whole voice box out his damn throat, if you will. Now, The charging documents allege police observed a laceration above the child's left eye, which was swollen shut. Now, how that little girl get a whole laceration, which is a deep cut over her eye, and her eye was swollen shut? Somebody hit her with something, hit her with a fist or something. I mean, what the hell, Now, there was also a bruise next to Aniya's right eye, and burns were detected around her right ankle. So not only is they beating her and cutting her, at the same time burning her with cigarettes and stuff like that. These are some sick, demonic ass people. And for her mammy to be in there, that's not her mom, and I don't give a damn who don't like it. For her mammy, you know how we say it, for her mammy, let me say it again, for her mammy to be in there and let this happen to her daughter, her mammy deserved the same damn thing that happened to her. Now, the child's arms were described as very thin, and you could see each one of her ribs. So not only they beating her, burning her, starving her also. The charging documents allege Aniya died from blunt force trauma to the head. Garrett told Fox 8 he was fighting for legal custody of his daughter at the time of her death because he suspected she was being abused. Now, you can't sit up here and tell me that women are the best stewardess of children. You cannot tell me that women rear children better than men. You cannot tell me that a mother loves her child more than a father does, because it's based by case basis. It depends on the case. It depends on the person. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's common sense right there. But you will have people telling you, don't you say nothing bad about your mama, or don't you say nothing bad about your daddy. If your daddy ain't shit and your mama ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? Or if the mama ain't shit and the daddy's something, tell the damn truth. That don't mean that's on you. Tell the truth. I mean, come on now. Now, he said, I did everything in my power to let them know, I was a stand-up dad, and that my daughter was being harmed and abused at home, and this was an emergency, Garrett told the station, noting he also submitted a petition for emergency custody shortly before his daughter's death. So he already seen the abuse going on. That's just like if you going over to somewhere your child. Let's just say if you going through a divorce battle, or you know what I'm saying, your spouse used to jump on you. Talking to men and women, it don't matter. And you going over there to the house, and you still trying to see your child. Every time you come, your child got a black eye. You come back again, your child got a nose busted. You come back again, your child got a broken rib. You come back again, your child 20 pounds lighter. I mean, damn, when you try to plead out to everybody, some of y'all will resort to violence, Now, a GoFundMe page has been established to help cover Aniya's funeral expenses, and I will put I will put that GoFundMe page up in the description below. So if you all have extra money, or if you just want to donate and help out the family, or send any kind of support, I'm gonna send that link so you all can do that also. Because like I said, I know a lot of people on YouTube, like I say, and a lot of people on YouTube, you can ask for money, you can ask for whatever you want. I don't judge nobody else what they do with their platform, because, I believe in people supposed to be compensated. But if you already blessed, don't ask for nothing. Just try to be a blessing to others. That's why I always put other folks GoFundMe in there. You never heard me once ask for nothing, because I'm very well taken care of, because guess what I do? I look out for other people, So I'm going to always be blessed. So like I say, donate to them. Donate to the people who need it if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's the thought that counts. Just remember that, because you have some people who just out here greedy, and they want anything that they can get out of people. So let's remember those who are less fortunate. Let's remember the people out here who can't even cover burial expenses. Let's remember the people who out here are going through these custody battles, you know what I'm saying, and losing their children right before they're able to get their children. But guess what, though? That Sierra Day and Deontay Lewis, they're going to have a huge price to pay. And I guarantee you, they're going to get life in prison. But Deontay won't make it past a couple years. They're going to already get him. Sierra, I don't know how it goes with the women. But for us, the men, you know what I'm saying, he better go get him a whole face change. He better do like Henry Hill from the Goodfellas. Go get him a face change and run from the mob, that type of thing. And make sure he's not recognizable. Because if somebody recognizes his face, off with his head, because guys do not play as far as hurting children, and then you will beat this child, make this child suffer. It's one thing to die, but it's another thing to suffer before you die. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's remember that. So like I said, I'm gonna put that GoFundMe page in the description below. If you all want to donate, please help that family. But at the same time, let's keep this father, Mr. Michael Garrett, in our prayers. And just it's just a sad day in this world that we live in, where you have people who's murdering children like it's nothing. And we need people to stand on their platforms, to stand on their soapbox and call this out. Everybody's doing the same damn thing. Like I said, I don't judge nobody. I don't care. I'm in my own lane. But at the same time, What if that was your child? What if that was your mom or dad or grandmother or friend, whoever? So these stories are just as important as a story about a celebrity, if you will, because guess what? You might not never meet that celebrity, but I guarantee you're gonna meet that crazy man or you're gonna meet that crazy woman. And then what you gonna do? Think about that. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe. Definitely share the video. And at the same time, if you know of any children getting abused, this is not snitching. You know, snitching does not apply when it comes to saving children and saving people's life. If that makes you a snitch, then hell, I'll be a snitch then. The hell with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care about that bullshit anyway. But at the same time, if you know abuse is going on with a child, contact somebody for that child before that child wind up dead. Or something worse done, you know what I'm saying, or something worse done to the child, where the child just living in misery and suffering. So if you know of a case like that, and I'm not telling you, you know what I'm saying, to go make a big loud ordeal about it, or even put them on blast in the comment section. You ain't got to do that. But I'm sure one of us at least know what a child is getting done wrong at. And if you know that much, then their blood is on your hands because you know. Think about that. Y'all stay blessed.